Enjoying the show? You can help others find it and enjoy it too by giving us a 5-star rating or review. If you feel like reaching out to us with a question or comment, you can send us an email at mywifetherd@gmail.com. And don't forget to visit our website at mywifethedietitian.com, as well as our social media pages. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Enjoy the show. It's Rob and Sandra from My Wife the Dietitian, and this is Nutrition Nuggets.
The day when doctors say take 10 cherries and call me in the morning may not be far off, said a recent Newsweek article.
Really? Cherries?
Yeah, that's a nutrition nugget for you.
That's a good thing by the sounds of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially since we have a cherry tree that's just like dripping with cherries right now.
It's bursting.
It's like, except we can't reach most of them.
The birds can.
I know.
They're going to be so healthy. The birds.
Our neighbor is... he's learning because he planted a cherry tree and he looked over at ours, and ours is massive. It's never ever been pruned.
It's
probably
like the grandfather cherry tree.
Yeah, it's like 40 feet tall, and like, yeah, you can't reach much of it. But he's like, your tree is loaded, but you can't get any of the cherries. So I've been just trying to keep mine at a manageable level so I can at least get my cherries. That's
a good strategy.
Yeah, it is a very good strategy.
Really good.
I love the tree. Like, it's a beautiful tree, but yeah, it's challenging. We can get the cherries. It's just very challenging.
Yeah, I know. It's a beautiful tree and it's loaded, and people that eat these cherries are going to have some health effects from them.
Like me.
Yeah,
that's the
and
people.
Many other people that we give them to, and that they are, they're
Mother Nature's gifts.
Yeah. I want to talk about 3 really awesome benefits of cherries. And there's been some research on tart cherries, which are different than ours because it's sweet cherries that a lot of people eat, the sweet cherries versus the tart.
Okay.
But they've got some amazing health benefits. Have you heard about the research around muscle recovery after exercise with tart cherry juice?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not up on that research.
Yeah, there's been actually 15 studies. So there was a meta-analysis that looked at tart cherry juice and tart cherries, and they measured muscle soreness, strength, power, and inflammation.
Okay.
The studies were looking at all those markers.
Right.
In terms of exercise recovery.
Okay.
It's called DOM, the delayed onset muscle soreness. Have you heard of that?
I have not.
Okay. Anyway, so people that are lifting or they're ripping their muscle, like they're basically, trying to get ripped.
Exercising.
Right.
Yeah.
Exercising. They're going to have tissue damage and repair, and tart cherry juice has been something that people are saying, oh, I'm going to use this, because some of the research is actually showing it's quite helpful.
In like speeding up the process?
Yeah, it can help. Like, there's a small benefit to the muscle soreness. There's moderate benefit for the recovery and the strength and the power, your muscle power. And yeah, it's pretty cool to think, but this was done. I mean, there's limitations in terms of the study because it's hard to know exactly how much. Like, it's like 1 to 2 servings a day. And what does that mean? It's like 350 mils of juice or 45 to 100 tart cherries, which would be quite puckering.
No doubt. Wow.
Yeah. But it does reduce the C-reactive protein and the interleukin-6, which are inflammation markers in the body.
So it's like a catalyst that affects those things that help your muscles.
Yeah. And it's,
cool.
Yeah, it's kind of cool because there's lots of, emerging studies in it, which is great. But we all know that cherries are just tasty. Mm-hmm. And the quote I mentioned about the Newsweek article about 10 cherries a day and call me in the morning, that was from 150 Healthiest Foods on Earth by Jonny Bowden PhD. So it's a book, and it's kind of something we could use for the vegetable of the week or the fruit of the week, and because each chapter is an actual, another fruit, but cherries are in there. And it's partly because of the red polyphenol, the anthocyanin.
Okay.
That we talk about how the beneficial effects of berries, right? Like blueberries. Everyone knows that blueberries are so good for you, and raspberries and strawberries, and they have a high level of antioxidants in the skin.
Right. Because of the color.
Yeah. And so like red cherries, they are loaded with those antioxidants. And those antioxidants, we've talked about this before, about eating those red color fruits and vegetables because they support our gut. Remember?
Right.
There's certain bacteria. It boosts the beneficial bacteria, and they can reduce the harmful bacteria, the E. coli, you've heard of that, the enterobacteria, and Clostridium C. diff. So the balance is they're increasing the good bacteria, they're decreasing the bad bacteria. They are, in the end, they're a prebiotic for our gut, and then they create postbiotics.
Now, are you talking about any red-skinned fruit, or are you talking specifically cherries?
Good call. This is any red-skinned fruit.
Okay.
And there's varying amounts of research on grape skins and different red-skinned fruits and vegetables, but cherry fits into that. And we know that there's been a lot of research on the tart cherry juice and tart cherries for muscle recovery. So the thing is, like, we know that fruits and vegetables are really good for us. And we know that people that include more vegetables and fruits are healthier. They have improved health outcomes. And part of that is it's like anti-cancer. That's the other thing that I didn't mention yet. And that's a big thing, is they have these amazing qualities that help with preventing cancer.
Well, that's huge. A lot of fruits and vegetables do, though, right? Because of the those things you just were talking about, the
polyphenols, and the and antioxidants.
Antioxidants,
yeah. So there's a specific cancer fighting agent in cherries called quercetin.
Okay. You can buy that as a supplement too, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's naturally in cherries.
Oh, interesting.
So again, when you eat the food, you're getting the fiber, you're getting the red skinned benefit for your gut microbiome. You don't get that in the supplement. You're just getting that one element.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, it's there's a lot of goodness to the cherries, and they actually help with sleep and sleep quality.
Really?
They have natural melatonin.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. So that's why it said the day when doctors say take 10 cherries and call me in the morning may not be far off, because it's good for muscle recovery. It's good for sleep. And then when you have a better sleep, then you're going to get better muscle recovery.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's so interesting.
So it's appropriate that our hammock is strung under the cherry tree then. You can just have like a handful of cherries and then have a nap.
That's right.
That's perfect.
I know. And there's a bit of a history with cherries, eh?
Oh, I'm sure there is.
Well, it's said to be dated as far back as 300 BC. Cherries were named after the Turkish town of Cerasus.
That's kind of like the French spelling of cherries. Almost is like.
Oh.
I think that's how it's spelled in French.
Oh, interesting.
Cerisses or something like that.
Okay, because this is a town in Turkey called Cerasus.
Oh, okay. It's similar, maybe.
Yeah, and throughout the centuries, cherry trees have been lauded for their deliciously succulent fruit as well as for their beauty. Tourists flock to Washington, D.C. every year to see the cherry blossoms on the ornamental cherry trees that were originally presented to America's capital in 1912 by Tokyo's governor. There are two main groups of cherries, the sweet and sour, that we talked about, right? Mm-hmm. The sweet and the tart. And the larger of the two are the firm, heart-shaped sweet cherries that have the darker skin, so like a purple skin. Mm-hmm. So they're delicious for just eating just fresh or cooked. And They can be the Bing, the Lambert, or the Tartarian. And then there's also golden and red blushed Royal Anne, and maraschino cherries are usually made from Royal Anne cherries. So this is taken from the Food Lover's Companion book by Sharon and Ron Herbst.
Oh, those guys again.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Herbst.
And the sour cherries, or otherwise known as tart cherries, are smaller, softer, and more globular than the sweet varieties. And most are too tart to eat raw, but make excellent pies, preserves, and anything that you make them with. You know, like if you put them in a baked food, they're fine that way.
Nice. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's worth having some cherries if you're in an area where they are growing and plentiful and more available this time of year, because we're mid-June now. And this is like cherry season. Actually, I think it's a little early. I think usually it's early July.
Yeah, it's a little early this year, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can also get the frozen ones too. They're really good. We use them sometimes on our cereal.
Yeah,
it's one of the offerings
sweet
in the frozen food section.
Yeah, we put those with blueberries, blackberries, strawberries, raspberries, cranberries.
Yeah, there's all sorts.
There's so many. It's awesome. But I just wanted to highlight the cherries right now because it is the season. And one last beneficial effect is it does help reduce uric acid and inflammation. So people that suffer from gout, which is pretty common, there was a study that when they were taking cherries for 2 days, it reduced the risk of gout attacks by 35%.
Wow.
And if they paired that with their medication, their allopurinol, then it actually reduced it by 70%.
Oh, wow.
Reduced risk of flare-ups. So it's a good reason. I think I've heard people say, oh, I can't eat cherries, I have gout. But actually it's the opposite. And tart cherry juice actually reduces serum uric acid. And so eating a few cherries is probably a good idea to help with your joint pain, your gout symptoms, and just your exercise recovery, the soreness of the muscles, the muscle strength, and helping you get a better sleep.
That's amazing. It's like a whole bunch of pills all in one.
Yeah, it's not pills, it's food.
No, but I'm thinking it's kind of like an ibuprofen. It's like a painkiller. It's like a melatonin. It's like all these things that people are taking pharmaceutically.
Yes.
But you can just eat some cherries.
Yeah, and then you get the fiber.
Exactly.
Because you don't get the fiber if you're taking just a supplement, right? So yeah, fiber, you get those beneficial gut health effects from the skins of the fruit. So all of these are just another reason to add cherries to your arsenal of different foods that you eat and different fruits.
Exactly. And watch out for those pits.
Right.
Yeah.
There's actually these fancy cherry pitters. Our neighbors gave us one. It's awesome. You put like 6 cherries and then you squish it down. It's a little bit of a work, you know, like if you have a ton of cherries, it takes a while to get them all, but it's good if you're freezing them.
Yeah, because then you've got your own cherries that are frozen.
Without the pits.
You're eating them in January and like, yeah, you have them year round. It's awesome.
Yeah, because if you freeze them with the pits, it's hard to use them in smoothies or...
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to just,
Yeah, you got to get rid of those pits.
That's it.
There we go. Well, thanks for sharing that. That's a fun little tip. And like you said, it is cherry season. So, yeah, go and track down some cherries. If you want more great tips, like you just heard, check out our website. We have all sorts of great information on there. We've got a blog. We also have a weekly newsletter that you can sign up for free. Visit mywifethedietitian.com. You'll find all that information there. You can also email us your questions if you have any curiosities about food, nutrition, health type stuff. Let us know. We've also got our Ask the Pharmacist series that we're going to be starting soon. So if you have a question for our pharmacist friend, Dr. Dean Elby, let us know. And we will add that to our list of questions that we ask him next time he's on the show. You can also visit us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Feel free to leave us a comment there. We love hearing your feedback. Speaking of feedback, let us know what you think of the show. If you're liking it, let us know. You can rate and review. You can just leave comments. It's all super helpful for us. Something else that's super helpful is sharing with a friend. It helps your friend find something awesome to listen to, and it helps us get some new people on board here. So that is it for this week. We'll be back next Monday with a full episode. So until then, go track down some cherries and have a fantastic week. Thanks for joining us today on My Wife the Dietitian. If you like what you heard, don't be shy. Leave us a comment or review, and be sure to share our podcast with your friends. If you'd like to hear more, hit that subscribe button. You can also follow us on our social media pages for updates, episode trailers, and other odds and ends. For more info and links on what we discussed on today's episode, check the show notes. We'll be back next week with another informative and fun-filled episode.